Good afternoon, Saints. Well, here to talk about Greenleaf. They're really giving us 3 episodes. These 2 we've seen in the last 2 weeks, and next week, it could have all been really the encore. I mean, what do you call it? Season end. But they've given us several cliffhangers in this particular episode. I mean, it could have been a part 1, 2, and 3, it seems like, because it's very good. Greenleaf, Season 3, Episode 12. Okay, it opens up with, last week they left off, Grace had asked her mother, Lady May, is Lionel my father, or was he? Because Lionel has passed away now, he's dead. Is that my father? Lady May says, I don't know. There's an irony to Lady May. We'll get to that in a minute. Okay. She says she denies, so Grace follows her out of whatever room they were meeting in into the sanctuary, and she asks her again. She repeats that she doesn't know, and she says, please, I don't ever want to talk about this again. How are you going to put somebody's parentage to rest? You know, I don't want to be bothered. In other words. So she doesn't get a straight answer from her. Next thing we see is Jacob and Clarissa are arguing. Clarissa is still convinced that Jacob has been unfaithful because he kissed his girl, Tasha. And she thinks that he wants to be with Tasha. Now, the man has come clean. He kissed the girl. Now, considering that this man was a whoremonger when we first met him, he had several pieces on the side. I think a kiss, a moment that went awry, I think Clarissa might be overreacting a bit, frankly. Because she does know the truth. She knows they haven't had sex. They haven't had a long, drawn-out affair or anything. It was flirtation around the office. In a moment of weakness, he kissed her. All right. So Clarissa's still pissed off about that. Still jealous. Still thinking that there's something more going on there. Okay. Rochelle and Basie come down hard on this girl, Tasha. Tasha don't want to leave. Tasha don't want to give up anything else. She knows these people. She's dealing with devils and demons. This Basie doesn't show her any love for her because now he's reacting to this kiss. But he hasn't been very sweet, loving, kind to her anyway. And this, of course, Rochelle's the devil. So they said they're going to go to Mexico. That's the plan. Tasha said, hell no, I'm not going to Mexico. I'm not going anywhere with you. You are the devils. And Rochelle will grab the girl by her arm. Now, Rochelle is a much bigger woman. I mean, she's not an overweight woman or anything, but Tasha is so small. So Rochelle grabs her up her arm like she's, pulling her out the house. Get your ass over there, girl. So they force her to leave the house. They're taking her with them, whether she likes it or not. Keep her mouth shut. Right? Then basically asks Rochelle about the money. She goes up under a couch and pulls out a whole suitcase full of money. This presumably is the money that she has ripped off from Bishop. And I guess it's from Triumph as well. Whatever the scheme was, they worked it between churches kind of thing. I see. Okay, the FBI is saying that they stole the money to pay off the FBI, right? Well, they owe the FBI $2 million. The money they talked about so far from stealing from Triumph was $200,000. So this suitcase must have that $200,000 plus the money that Bishop willingly signed over to her. It's all got to be in that suitcase. So I guess it's $1 million in the suitcase. I'm not sure. Okay, so they grab that. Rochelle says, well, you got to pay off the bookies. You got to pay. He's in so this song and dance about how they after me, they're going to kill me and all this kind of stuff. And she said, it's for the bookies. He said, no, we're going to live on this. We're going to Mexico. Right? he tells Rochelle to go pack this girl's stuff, get her ready. We're going. Meet him at some roadside motel. So they're just gonna fly the coop. Okay, next thing we see is Jacob. He says the only way they're gonna get out of this mess is Tasha tells the truth. Tasha confesses the plan that could get them all off the hook. Nobody have to go to jail, right? Nobody but possibly her and Basie and Rochelle. But so he goes over there. When he gets there, the house is a little bit ransacked. You can tell that someone left in a hurry. And she is not there. She's gone. Right? So they took her. Next thing we see is Grace and Arron. Grace, they're on pretty good terms, Arron and Grace. Not knowing if they're actually brother and sister or not. But, yeah, Grace calls him and asks him to take a DNA test to be sure. Which is the logical answer. I mean, they have to do that. Right. And he's agreeable. He said, I'll do that for you, for us. He wants to know as well. Next thing we see is their lawyer, Greenleaf's lawyer, Grace's friend. I guess he works for Greenleaf, but Grace is the one that contacted him. Anyway, he advises, he says that Bishop's position is a little better than Jacob's. They got Jacob's, they got his signature, him taking his money, and they got Bishop taking the money. Jacob putting the money into this bogus account, Bishop taking it out, right? The lawyer is saying that, well, Bishop has this disease. I forget the name of the disease, but he's got the disease, so he can he can claim he knows what he was doing. So he can plead incompetence. Excuse me. Something went down wrong. Okay. So Bishop can plead incompetence. Bishop says, no way. Oh, shit. Let's see if I got my voice still. Excuse me, peoples. All right. Bishop says, no way. I'm trying to get my church back. How can I go and plead like I'm losing my mind? They find that out. I'll never get it back. Because Connie is after him. Connie is trying to replace the bishop. And Lady May is trying to replace him. Or take his place. Okay. Bishop goes on to this vision he had about the future. They don't tell us what the vision was, but he seems pretty sure that he won't go to jail. That's pretty much all he said so far. I guess that'll be revealed next week as well. Remember, next week is the finale. Next week is the finale. We'll get all of these things sold up. Maybe a few new cliffhangers for next season. I don't know, but these look like they're about to be wrapped up right now. Zora has basically had enough of this dude. If he would have just played his cards right, she would have stayed. But he's been using her like a slave, having her do all of his technical stuff, all of his online stuff, take care of the house, you know. He's been treating her kind of bad, and she knows that he's cheating on her. But she says, well, if I'm going to be here and I can't go to school, you stop that, you know. That you got to pay me a paid position. I want a title and a paid position. He said, go pack my clothes. That's your position. He's been a real asshole. So Zora is just about had enough with him. Connie interviews this other dude, this other pastor who is in charge. He says he's got a church in 100 countries. So maybe I got the name of it. Yeah, Harmony Hope. Be quiet. Say hello to baby. Hi, good morning. How you doing, guys? What you doing? What you doing with my daddy? Give me some sugar. Okay, so yeah, Connie interviews this dude. He's from an organization called Harmony Hope, right? Now, Bishop assumes that means that because Bishop sees this guy coming out of her office, he talks to him for a minute. He says, "Oh yeah, I understand you're doing well in that organization." And he says, "Yeah, we're about to go into North Korea is next." But Bishop is thinking he knows that this girl, Connie, she's an old girl. Connie is trying to get this cavalry to become a part of this organization. So she's up to no good. Now, I don't know why they can't just get rid of Miss Connie, but I guess that's the way the church is set up. Maybe he can't fire her. I don't know. But okay, so we know that these guys are taking Tasha against her will. They stop at this white girl. What's her name? The girl's name is... Hold on a minute. What is this young lady's name? Well, the young lady, Coralie, I think her name is. Yeah, Coralie. Coralie is the girl they're trying to help. They don't make... Usually, we get the impression that Rochelle is a demon, right? She's a devil. We don't say anything good about her. She's conniving, and she's calculating, and she tends to be very aggressive when it comes to Tasha. Like she might even be violent. Usually, a character like that is not going to have any redeeming qualities, right? But this girl actually seems to care about the fate of this woman. I just said her name, Coralie. So Coralie says, "I need to see you because I'm about to go get my kids." But she tricks them to come to her house. But she's actually working with Grace, right? So Rochelle go over there and talk her out of going to get her kids. She found out where they're at. Perhaps that was just a story. It could have been all just a story to get her to come over there. Rochelle goes over there to talk this girl down, and then while she's there with the woman, her and Tasha, Jacob and Grace break in. Or they come to the house. The woman opens the door, so she knows they're coming. She wants to be recognized by the judges that she did help them, right? All right, so Tasha is free now. They do get Tasha. Send Rochelle on her way. Maybe there could have been a little bit more to that scene. I think a little bit more of a confrontation between Grace and Rochelle. I think I would appreciate that more. Not that it has to be a slap down or anything like that, but they kind of moved through that scene too fast for me. Zora tries to leave Isaiah. Okay. She's had enough. He's ready to go on some trip. He tells her to pack for him. And she is packed his bag and also her own bag. And she says she is leaving. She's had enough. You ain't paying me nothing. I'm sitting up here. You're homonging. The hell with it. I'm leaving too. And he says, you ain't going nowhere. And she said, yes, I am. So she goes for the door. And he does what we all suspected he was going to do. He attacks her. Throws her over the back of a couch, and he's choking her. She hits him. He falls to the side a little bit, and she pulls out this damn cell phone. I guess the cell phone is the new mace, because he backs off of that woman like she was holding a cross and he was a vampire. Get back. We're live. We're live. So I guess even if he snatched it down, it's already been live, right? And she gets away. They have a scene where she goes to this bus station and calls her people. And Sophia picks her up. Takes her back home, right? We'll get back to that storyline. Okay. Bishop finally confronts Lady Mae about her hypocrisy, because while he was having an affair with his sister, she was having an affair with his best friend. One is no better than the other. And so he finally snaps back at her. She seems frozen for a moment. But he don't have no idea that the girl he knows to be his daughter is actually another man's child. And this woman, Lady May, has kept this secret. For how is Grace? 35? 35 years sleeping in the same bed, and she has not told him that. So she's done a lot worse than him, actually. Okay. Next thing, okay. So she makes him an offer. She says, I want you to announce that I am now the co-pastor. We'll co-pastor the church. Even though they're divorced, I don't know how they're going to pull that one off. They are a divorced couple. It seems like everybody in this thing is divorced. He says, of course, no. Hell no, basically. His expression says, hell no. You to leave the church. That's our deal. Isn't a house enough for you? A house and everything we own, isn't that enough for you? Next thing we see is Lady May Day. Lady May Day starts off with Charity and Maxine singing Change. A change, oh change, has come over me. He changed my life. One of my favorite songs, written by Walter Hawkins. Walter or Edwin Hawkins. The Hawkins came up with this. Anyway, it's a beautiful song. Her, Charity and also Maxine are singing it together. So we get to hear some Patti LaBelle. Some old style Patti LaBelle singing. Patty's doing a good job in this thing. I don't appreciate that blonde hair on her. Now, she's always been a woman who was very avant-garde. So this is kind of calm for her, actually. Because she was an avant-garde type woman. I just don't think it looks good on her. Just a little sidebar. Okay. After they sing the song, they introduce Lady May. This is her big moment. Lady May does this great, big, elaborate sermon. So at least we know she can preach. I mean, they've been telling us she's going to be the co-pastor, or the pastor, but we have seen no evidence that she could even preach. So now we get a sample of her preaching. And her theme is telling the truth. It all starts with telling the truth. The height of hypocrisy. Here's this whole mess between her family and Grace and her father. It all comes down to her lying. She's been lying on everything. She holds everything close to vest. She don't tell any truth at all. And yet she's up there talking about how it all begins with telling the truth. Right? But she does a pretty good job preaching. She gets the people happy. Particularly Patti LaBelle or Maxine. When she starts singing, they all get happy and all this kind of stuff, right? Let's see what else happened. Bishop, while this is going on, Bishop and Grace have a moment back in one of the offices where he's appreciating her fight to help the family, how she's always been there. She's always been there trying to make things right. And they hug, they caress. Touching scene. It brings him to tears. Right? Which is only going to make it even harder on him when he finds out that this woman, what she's done. She went out and had a baby with another man and did not tell him for all these years. All right. So after they have their moment, Sophia picks up Zora at the bus station. I think I already said that. She brings her back to her parents' house. They're in there fighting, Clarissa and Jacob. And Clarissa announces that she wants a divorce. Now, I got to say something about this. Now, I love the writing of this show. It is my favorite show. Probably one of my best shows in the last 10 years. But the writing in this show, these people are supposed to be holy people. Everybody's divorced. They divorced at the drop of a hat. The reason Lady May is divorcing Bishop makes no sense to me at all about some affair, 35-year-old affair, and she was doing the same thing at the same time, and yet she announced that she wants a divorce. Doesn't make any sense to give up your whole life over that, something that happened that many years ago. Then, of course, Charity, she had to divorce her husband, but he was begging her to stay. He didn't want to dissolve the divorce. First thing she come up, divorce. So people who are supposed to be, now Clarissa, she wants a divorce. She wants a divorce because this Jacob kissed Tasha at some point. Never mind that he's come clean and told her exactly what happened. She wants a divorce. Now this divorce is the worst. This is the most offensive of all because she has no reason to want to divorce him. Not after no kiss. Remember when we first met Jacob, he was a whoremonger. He had several pieces on the side. A kiss from in a moment of weakness. And plus the girl don't work there no more. You know what I mean? It's something that just happened in the moment. She ain't got no reason for no damn divorce. But perhaps we won't go all the way there. But it seems like at least somebody should stay married. All the church is about is marriage, right? All right. Okay, now we're getting dramatic. These are the cliffhangers. Okay, first cliffhanger is Grace and Arron have taken the DNA test. She has the results, but she don't want to open them until he's there with her. They sit down to open the test together, right? But we don't know what the test said. I can make a guess that Lionel is her father, but we'll see. I'm only guessing based on the previews they showed us for next week. Okay, that's one cliffhanger. Next cliffhanger. Clarissa has just told Jacob she wants a divorce. As he's taking this in, what she just said, the daughter comes in. What's going to happen there? Are they going to stay together? I imagine somebody's got to stay married. I'm sorry. These people just divorce way too fast. What you even in church for? I mean, you don't believe anything. You don't do anything you want to do. Anyway. Okay. And the main things now are Basie busts in on Bishop with a gun, 9mm, pointing at his head. He goes through the story. Bishop said he didn't mean to do it. This man will not back down. He's pointing his gun at him and he's starting to shake. His hands shaking. Bishop tries to approach him and talk him down. And he said, don't come no closer. Don't come no closer. Just broken. This is another thing that happened, 100 years ago. I mean, granted, their storyline is a vendetta. I understand that. But this dude's going to give up his whole life. It wasn't enough to ruin these people. Now he feels like he has to kill them. Perhaps he feels like they got Tasha now. Since they have Tasha, the whole thing is going to cave in on him. So the only way he's going to get even before he goes to prison anyway is to kill the bishop. So we're left with that cliffhanger. Basie is holding the gun on Bishop near his head. And he said, prepare yourself to meet Jesus. That's the main cliffhanger. Okay. And I think that's where they ended at. It is where they ended at. That's enough. Okay, church people. Y'all always talk about marriage to death and all this kind of stuff that y'all believe in, yet nobody's married. I think this show does a pretty good job of reflecting reality. 3/4 black people are single. I'm sorry, I shouldn't laugh about it, but they are reflecting the reality of life. I think pretty good in this. See you next week for the finale. All right.